see. Have faith of a mustard seed. Get up on your feet. Rise up.
Welcome to another segment of the Drexel SEMA Show. So this guest I have, I've been trying to get him on the show for quite some time now. Of course, he travels a lot. And so, that is a challenge. So I'm very grateful that I was able to get him on the show before he makes another trip. And with that said, I want to welcome Bradley Theodore Harvey to the Drexel SEMA Show. Bradley is an artist. He's inspiring people throughout the world. He's all over the world, actually, drawing and painting. And I want to, use this opportunity to congratulate him and also to make this be an inspiration for other people out there who want to be an artist, to give them hope. Especially some parents who may not see the value of art or the value of painting and may discourage their children from pursuing that. And so I hope this interview will be a way of encouragement and let them know that there's more than what they think there is to art. And with that said, I want to welcome Mr. Bradley Theodore Harvey to the Drexel SEMA Show. Thank you.
Thanks, Jax.
All right. So tell us a little bit about you. I know you grew up here, but you probably spend a lot of time away now. But tell us a little about you.
Actually, I was born here.
Oh, yes.
I was born here. My family's originally from Middle Caicos, the Harvey Neats, and my father grew up with the Forbes. Ebenezer Forbes, who used to be a ship trader.
Okay.
I left about 6 months old, and we moved to Miami and grew up initially in Miami, and then late teens in New York City.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where
Okay.
I lived that New York life.
Yeah, I see that. I see. Well, I read about it. Actually, not see it. I read about it. Now you are a visual artist. Is that what they?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what does that mean?
Well, I studied art in junior high school, specialized junior high school and high school, focused on art and design, graphic design, interior design, product design. I graduated winning Scholastics competition, which is top 20 students in the world.
In the world?
In the world. It's
congratulations.
20, yeah, thank you. It was very, very, it was a challenging road, I can tell you that, because in my high school, there's a lot of competition, and, people were unfavorable towards young kids like myself. I remember my teacher saying, oh, you can't get into that, you may not get into that college, or you may not be able to afford that or this. I got into that college anyway.
That's it.
So the competition was, top 20 out of 57,000 students around the nation.
Wow.
Then I went to school in initially Boston, some art school in BU, and then I got there and I became friends with a lot of computer kids, and then we had a kid that came over from New York that was studying, and he kind of pushed me towards going to a school that I initially wanted to go to in high school, which is School of Visual Arts. So I actually applied and got accepted, partially full scholarship. And then I just, spent, initially I was a computer art student. So graphic design, computer art. So it was all.
This is high school or this
college?
Is college.
Yeah,
okay.
This is college. High school was we had a program which we spent about 2 hours doing design and art, as opposed to the 1 hour that you get, and we did it twice a week. 2 or 3 times a week. It was rotated with different kids. So they would class A and then class B, and then you'd go on like Mondays and Wednesdays, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that was primarily for high school. You did everything regular in high school. You just had about 4 more hours a week doing art.
I got it.
Yeah. And in college, I was School of Visual Arts has one of the best computer art programs in the world. I was a blessing to actually have that opportunity. I think at the time we worked on supercomputers, which were like Silicon Graphics. And those computers themselves price ranged from about $250,000 to $5 million. So it was a concentrated computer lab, a bunch of tech geeks, a lot of Red Bull and techno music. You know.
And I also read somewhere where you didn't know how to paint, and you learned how to paint.
Yeah, because initially I was doing in high school airbrushing, you know, and drafting, and then in college I went straight to computers. So I did. Everyone has a foundation painting class, but I did miserably in it. You know, I was the worst kid in the class. I sat next to one kid from Korea and one kid from Japan, and they were so good that I was like, okay, I quit. You know.
So you never imagined that you'd be even doing?
Yeah, never. I mean, I think in my school, everyone thought I was talented, but you know, we hung out with painting kids. And one friend of mine named Godstone, and you know, yeah, they were like, we were all joke about not being able to paint, you know, worth crap, you know. So initially, I finished college, went and worked for a couple of advertising agencies, the Arnell Group, freelance at BBD Needham. I tutored a lot of people. A couple people at Saatchi, joined a firm called The Attic, which is a British design firm. They actually did branded Bluetooth, Music Match, Coca-Cola, Adidas, Pepsi. And there I was doing interactive design and programming. And then I started working at Def Jam Records, you know, and there I worked on, I was interning at Def Jam probably for about 10 years. So I was always freelance. So since I was in college, because at that time, my skill was very highly sought after. And I worked on albums from Redman, Warren G, some Jay-Z stuff, Wu-Tang. I was very, 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 very good friends with this guy named Power. He was the guy that helped found the Wu-Tang clan. So I did a lot of work with him. Just work, you know?
Yeah. And that's awesome, man. Sorry, go ahead.
And then, you know, I had a bad year one year. I started a fashion brand with a friend of mine and just got screwed over.
You started what?
I did a fashion brand with a friend of mine.
Oh, fashion brand.
You know, one thing is that I worked with a lot of moguls, so I had an idea of business, but when I partnered with these particular people, they taught me business. You don't know until you lose. So, you know, we had a big loss. And then came back to Turks and Caicos in 2011 for a vacation. I jumped in that water, got recharged, you know?
Awesome. At least you didn't give up.
No, I think this, you know, Turks and Caicos is an intricate part of my, me being an artist, because it gave me the energy to go back. You know, New York is a tough city. Yeah. And a lot of people get back up after they get knocked down. So I felt that, you know, once I came here, it was the energy, the people, and a lot of people, no one knew that I was from here. I just came in, acting like a tourist, you know, going to the bars, hanging out, meeting a couple people. Actually, ministers were really nice. Just everyone was really nice. It was a different vibe than you know I was used to, and then it was just something that sparked in me. I said, you know what, you know, I could stay here, but I'm gonna go back to New York City, put on the boxing glove, and knock it out. You know, so I did that. At the time, I was gonna work for a friend of mine's fund as a you know, banking fund. So I started studying finance on the side, and I started painting, and then I taught myself how to paint, you know, and then everything else is happened.
Awesome. Now I've read you've traveled the world. And, I mean, tell us about those different countries you've been to and what you did.
I think in college, a friend of mine used to talk about. So whenever I did a freelance project in New York, I would fly to. I would go on vacation, Japan, but I would do like freelance projects out there because you know, if I did something really popular in America, people would know about it in Japan, and I would go out there, work out there. I actually speak Japanese.
Oh, yeah. Tell him, say something.
なんでか。こんにちは、皆さん。俺は名前、ブラッド。
What it means?
Oh. Hello, everybody.
Oh, okay.
My name is Brad.
Okay, I can do that too. Yeah,
so,
just kidding.
Yeah. So I would always do stuff out there. I stuck myself in the house for almost 2 years, and every day I did nothing but paint. You know, I studied business management, finance, and paint every day. I woke up, read books, watched YouTube, paint. Went, got coffee, came home, did the same thing until 2 in the morning, every day for a year and a half. And by the time I stepped out of my house, I had my style, I had my techniques, and I had some really great paintings. And I decided to use some of the skills that I acquired throughout the years to brand myself. You know, I kind of made myself my a product. So I used some of the techniques that was at the time called guerrilla marketing, and I started doing street art murals all over the city. You know, so I put my first mural up on Kenmare and Elizabeth Street.
Oh, so that's how you started branding?
No, I already started painting, but how I started.
No, I mean the brand.
The promotion, the brand of Bradley Theodore.
All right, so you say you put a mirror?
No. I hired myself to brand myself.
Oh.
So I looked at myself as a third party and said, okay, how do I brand Bradley Theodore as one of the greatest street artists that ever lived? You know? So I chose the best walls. I actually knew a lot of the building owners in New York, so I have a very nice connect.
That's good.
I have a very great network. So I took advantage of that. I chose one of the most amazing walls, and I put one of my most sought after paintings on it. You know, I had friends that wanted to buy it. I was like, not for sale, not for sale. So I did that, and after I did that, the painting went viral. I think within 1 week, it had 5 million Instagram likes from all over the world.
Oh, wow.
And it's probably one of the most recognizable street art pieces in the world, you know? So after that piece went viral, I went all over New York City, did different pieces. I think we have a term, which means we killed the city. So I killed the city. And then after that, I did some walls in Paris, London, Hong Kong, Tokyo.
And
Italy.
how were you able to do those walls in those countries? Because I know you say in New York, you knew most of the owners.
I have a good network around the world. I have a good network around the world. A lot of people a lot of my friends that were in
New York
fashion, art, and business would say, "Hey, my buddy's coming in from Italy. Can you meet him, take him out, show him around the city?" So I would always do that, you know, because I mean, in our business, in a creative world, we entertain people, you know. So I already had a network, you know, and people that I've worked with, people that were friends. I just tapped into that, and they would call me, "Hey, Brad, come here. I want you to do this. I want you to do this." So it just spread, you know. Probably the last thing I did was I did a portrait of the former president of Kenya, you know, Uhuru Kenyatta. I did a portrait of his father, Jomo Kenyatta, the founder of Kenya. You know, and actually, I was suggesting that he come visit Turks and Caicos. He was almost there.
And you keep trying. Okay, I mean and so this is a full-time thing for you then, basically.
Yeah, it's a business.
It's
24/7. That's it. It's art.
Were you under pressure to do anything else other than art, or I mean, because I know sometimes people say, "Oh man, you're not gonna get anything out of art."
Well, when I put my mind to something, I do it. So when I decided to do it, I called my mom and I said, "Mom, support payments are gonna come late," and I went straight for it. You know, I knew what I had to do. I gave myself a certain timeline to do A, B, and C, and I executed. You know.
So what keeps you inspired with
For me, one of my greatest, like I said, my greatest inspiration is coming back to Turks and Caicos.
Okay.
And really hanging out with friends, seeing people that really love their country, that are working hard. You know, you come here and everybody's working. There's no one sitting there. I mean, there's a group of people that, you know, they're not working 24/7, but, you know, I think Turks Islanders have a work mindset, you know, and a really good play mindset. So when it's work, it's work. When they're relaxing, they're relaxing.
Yeah.
So
and as you draw and paint, what do you get out of it? I mean, what sort of feeling is it? Like
I think, you know, art in itself, what people don't realize is art is a connection to being human. You know, it's the only thing that separates us from any other creature. Other animals, they produce art when they're in their own way, whether it's a bird building a nest, a dolphin surfing, they create their art, you know, that's more algorithmic. But when it comes to humans, we use art to communicate. You know, we've used art to build. You know, the first recorded piece of art was the cave paintings.
Yes.
You know, what that taught the tribes where to hunt. The good hunting's there, the good hunting's there, you know? So without that artistic expression, we probably would be in a dark room in a box, you know? A lot of people don't really understand art, but it's around them every day, you know? Their houses are a piece of art. There's an architect,
Very
you know?
good point.
Their clothing is the pattern maker that makes that, they're artists, you know?
That's true.
There's a seamstress that designs pants to tech packs that help them get the pattern. The cars they get in. I recently gave an award to the head designer of the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, you know? And that in itself is meant to be a piece of art, you know? So artists are all around us, whether you have appreciation for it or not, that's on you. But as you progress as a person, you'll find that the higher you go up, the more art you will encounter, you know?
I never thought about that, but now that you mention it, everything really is intertwined with art.
Everything.
You're absolutely correct.
So
I never thought about it.
You know, I used to live next door to the Louvre in Paris, directly across from like the pyramid, and I would go. I think it was like every Monday it was free, so I would go in there, and it's one Monday a month or one Wednesday a month.
Mm-hmm.
So I would go in there, and you saw all this beautiful art, but it was all history.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's one painting called "The Crowning of Napoleon," right? And that painting, it's all about the painter himself, a painter called David, and David was one of the select painters from the King of France. Mm. You know, he won. There's a big salon every year, and he won it with his painting that was a Greek painting of a father giving 3 sons swords, and it was interpreted as the father sending the kids to war for the king. Then later on, when the king was deposed, David was thrown in jail, and because he was part of the aristocratic community, he was thrown in jail, and that painting resurfaced to be praised for the father sending the 3 sons to fight for the revolution.
Okay.
You know, but when he was out of jail, Napoleon, he was friends with Napoleon, asked him to paint his coronation, and Napoleon's wife gave David horrible seats at the coronation. So when the painting was done, David did not paint his wife being crowned by the Pope. He painted Napoleon giving her the crown, putting the crown on her head. Now that has a significant meaning. Meaning, if the Pope crowns you, you become royalty. You know. But if Napoleon gave you the crown, you're actually not royalty. So a painter created something that gave you a view of history.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
That really affected history. Just that painting itself.
Yes.
Big ripples in European social society.
You could showcase the history for painting.
Yeah. So in a way, art is a part of our history. You know, every painting you see in a museum, you know, there weren't cameras there. And even if you see a portrait that's a painting versus a portrait that's a photo, I love photography, but the painting gives you a little bit more expression.
Yeah, and it's visual. It's more, you can visualize it as well.
And everyone can look at a painting.
Yeah.
Without bias of the person.
Yeah.
You know, that's why every president of the United States gets his portrait painted. You know, and he gets an official photo, but that actual portrait is something that people really admire and aspire to see.
Yeah. How many pieces of paintings have you done?
Well, compared to the average artist, I'm very low. You know, I've done maybe 150 canvases.
150?
Yeah, well, put my 150 compared to another artist that does 5,000. You know, I mean, that's kind of the ratio. But my work is rarer and hard to get, and people want certain paintings, and I take my time. You know, I paint for me. You know, you can go ahead and paint just to make money, but you know, eventually you'll crash. And you know, if you're just not putting your soul into your paintings, then you know, you really just have something that people like but can't really feel.
And I guess that's a lesson too. I mean, from anything, you must put your all in all into it.
Yes, quality is very
just
important.
Put something to say you did something, but put your all in.
Yeah, whenever
into
I do anything, I'm like an OCD. I have to go for the best.
Yeah. Now, I know you mentioned, you know, when you tried that fashion brand and you made some losses. Are there any other challenges that you experienced?
Well, when I did the fashion brand, you know, that was a good lesson, you know? So I recently had a collaboration with Puma where we did a full collection,
Okay.
you know? So I got my revenge on that one. You know?
Okay.
So that was a global launch. It was in from Bali, India, Hong Kong, Tokyo, China, France, Italy. That was a really good collection. I used some of the things I've learned from doing my own fashion brand. I put it in that, and it actually sold out globally. And Puma was very surprised, actually.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's
And
good.
I do a lot of collaborations like that.
Yeah. So you learn from your previous
Hey, learn from my failures, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I do a lot of collaborations like that. I was the official artist in 2017 for the U.S. Open, and they haven't had an artist work for them in about 20 years before that. You know, since the 80s. So I brought in that. I think we did paintings for the Louis Armstrong building that they're actually going to make a new one. So that was to kind of inaugurate the creation of the new building. And then I worked with David Beckham with his brand called the Hay Club Scotch from Scotland. That was pretty cool, very cool project. I've worked with a lot of NGOs. One is Shafco in Kenya. Another one is
You been to Kenya?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to Kenya. That's how I met the president.
Okay.
We went.
Oh yes, you did say it.
I went to their largest ghetto in Shafco. They take girls from the age of 5 until college, and they educate them, they feed them, and they're in a really gnarly,
Like a boarding school?
It's like a boarding school in the middle of the ghetto, you know, and every parent has to come there and help by cleaning, feeding, cooking. So once a week, all the parents are rotating to help the school run. So it's just a really, really, really great thing. There's another charity I work with called charity, I forgot the name of it, but I donate every year with them, and they actually built a hospital that does specialized services that NHS doesn't cover. You know, they give out specialized wheelchairs, and there's special ones that like lift up full body wheelchairs. It's really, really cool charity. It's called every year. It's called the Butterfly Ball.
Okay, all right. Well, I mean, do you have anything else you'd like to add? I really enjoyed this interview. It made me appreciate art even more.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think Turks and Caicos, you know, I've been all over the world, and I really, you know, I feel really comfortable here. I get great sleep here. I just recharge, and for me, I think it's one of the most beautiful and blessed countries in the world.
Yeah, it is.
I think we need, as a people, we need to shake each other's hand more, help each other more, be more friendly towards each other. For example, in New York City, you cannot make it unless you have a solid network. It is impossible.
Networking is very crucial to anything.
Solid network, you know. Yeah, you know, you can't be friends with everybody, but the friends that you have and the people around you, you help them, you know. So in New York, you pick up the phone call, you say, hey, I need this. Do you know anybody? Someone says, oh, I got a guy. He'll call his friend, call his other friend, and he'll help you, you know. Or you know, sometimes it's not for free, but the fact is that you have that ability to get something done with someone. So we have a very special relationship with each other that we help each other come up, you know, because, you know, friends that don't help is like having a knife that doesn't cut.
Yeah. Now, finally, do you think about maybe opening up something here in Turks?
Yeah, I've been looking for a space to do a studio, you know, and I really want to do my studio here. I have friends from all over the world, different artists that, you know, that I want to invite over, just hang out and do some paintings. I mean, there's a big energy in the art world that if we can bring that here,
that would be good.
That would turn Turks and Caicos to another level.
Yeah,
that
would be good.
Most people don't understand that, you know, take in Miami, Overtown, which most Turks Islanders know, because that was one of the only Black communities in Miami that were welcomed into, and in the 70s, and today it's called Wynwood. You know, of a $70,000 building is now $5 million. You know, and it's only because the place is covered with art. People travel from around the world to walk around an area that was the most scariest, decapitated area in the world just to see the art, you know? And so I feel that like, if we work together, we can have a art industry.
Yes.
You know, and a lot of the
and
kids
even have some galleries as well.
Yeah, galleries, but you know, there's a lot of situations where the hotels should have art from local artists.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you giving back, and a lot of kids that are spending their time doing nothing will find something to do.
Yeah.
You know, and they'll be able to earn a living and hold their head up proud. You know, so you know, I'm fully encouraged. I fully encourage this whenever I talk to anyone. So I just feel that we can become a creative hub, you know? You know, like we're the next creative hub out there and people are looking for it, you know? Most of the creative hubs like have become majorly commercialized, you know? For example, there's Tulum, there's Mofa in Texas. Malfa, it's kind of an area where they have different sculptures around the city, and people travel from Switzerland, Germany, France, Tokyo, Hong Kong, just to see, you know,
that's true.
That just to see a rock, you know.
Yeah.
So I feel that Turks and Caicos, we need that creative vibe.
Yes, we do.
You know, and it's a higher level of persons that come. It's not the guy that just wants to drink beer and start fights. It's people that want to just explore culture and kind of like absorb creativity.
Yeah, you're right, and also you have you know other activities to do on the island as well. You know, rather just water-based or water sports. You have art.
Yeah.
You know? Well, thank you very much, Mr. Bradley Theodore Harvey, for being a guest on the show. It's been a very refreshing experience, and from a different angle, be speaking about art. And I believe that this show will inspire many other people, you know, to come out and do that art thing that they have within themselves, but they probably think, oh, I'm not going to go anywhere with it. But you've demonstrated there's so much you can do with it, and that there's a lot of everything we do.
Also, art it's very important for mental health. You know.
Yes.
It's something that, you know, like you don't have to do it to sit there and try to make, you know, money or whatever. You could do it to calm yourself, you know. It's something where like you just relax your mind. It's very important for humans to express themselves.
Yes.
In any way possible.
Yes.
So from sculpting to pottery, painting, watercolors, it helps people.
Yeah. Thank you very much. You're absolutely right.